Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. I have a couple of things I want to talk about. And I'm going to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, 4th, Adi Lila 4th chapter, text, starting at text 215. That's the plan. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oops. Krishna, just setting up the reading here. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Who's there? Somebody's there. Johan. Krishna. Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Whoa. Yeah, really. Woo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, a couple of things I want to talk about. And then I'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. I can't see, so I can't do this. Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hey, Hare Bo. Hare Bo. I have something I want to talk about, and then I want to read Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Charitamrita, like you suggested that I do, because it would help me to understand a little more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, I really can't go to the Vaidhi programs. I was able to do it for a little while, and basically to see who was there and what was going on. But to attend regularly, I can't do it. So I haven't been going to any of the home programs, the readings and the speculations and everything. I haven't been going because I know who's there. And I've made a contact with them, but to attend their program I can't do. So I was there, I haven't been going. And a couple of the devotees came over to the house. Where are you? We miss you. You should come to the program. Blah, blah, blah. So they made the effort to contact me like that. So that night I went to the reading, Krishna book reading and Kirtan and Prasadam. I barely made it through the Kirtan, just barely. I mean, I was way in the hallway. They were in the living room with life-size Prabhupada and little miniature deities. And I was near the bathroom, way in the back in the hallway somewhere, screaming like anything for Krishna. I mean, just screaming for Krishna. Prabhupada, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And they didn't know what to do with it, you know. They were just in the front going, and sitting in front of the Murti, life-size Murti, bigger than life actually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And I'm in the back, exploding with energy. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I just barely made it through the Kirtan. And some of the sounds that were coming out were just, I mean, my hair was standing on end. I can't imagine what it was doing with them. And they were probably relieved when I had made as graceful an exit as I could, explaining I had to take care of something. And when they were starting to read, and I just left. So I was remembering I have had that experience before, actually several times. The time that I had that experience came to mind when I was in college. The classes became unbearable, unbearable, sitting in those classes where it was being presented that you were learning something. No, you were simply being trained. There was no learning going on. There was no learning going on. In high school, it became unbearable, but I made it through graduation. I mean, I always had like really high grades. And I never studied. I never read the books or anything. I just always got high grades. I made it, just barely made it through high school with high enough grades to get into a very good, excellent girls' school in Boston. And my parents made a big sacrifice to send me because they wanted me to have a good education. And I made it through 4 years of college. 3 weeks before I was supposed to graduate, I just said no, no. Because I realized the reason I made it through high school was I thought, when I go to college, there'll be some real knowledge there. Real knowledge. It'll be there because it's higher education. And then when I got to college, I saw it was just more of the same. It was just more training. Being trained. It was all about externals. There was nothing that had to do with the self anywhere. It was just training so you could work in your life. And the same thing happened. I made it through 4 years of college. 3 weeks before I was supposed to graduate, I realized, no, graduation doesn't mean anything. I'm being trained to do what I'm doing now. and for a whole lifetime. It's not going to be any different. I'm just being trained. And I don't want it, I don't like doing this now. Why should I like doing it for the rest of my life? I was studying psychology and mathematics. I was trying to figure things out. The mathematics I enjoyed. It was like games and puzzles. You know, people like to do games. It's fun. You like to do games. For me, it was just games. Looking at the formulas and getting them to work out. It was like doing a crossword puzzle for me. Calculus, trigonometry, geometry. It was like nothing. You know, for me, it was fun. So I managed to get through 4 years of that, but I hit a stumbling block in that last year. When we got into abstract algebra, I hit a stumbling block. Interestingly enough, it was taught by an Indian lady, Professor Rahatki. I couldn't understand a word she said when she'd go to the blackboard and do the set theory and the binary and the abstract algebra. I couldn't understand her because of her dialect. She ran all her words together, and it was very sing-song, and I couldn't understand a word she said. So I had difficulty there. It wasn't so mechanical as the other mathematics were. There was something different about this mathematics that this Indian woman, with her Indian dialect, related to very easily, and that I couldn't fathom. But it reached a crescendo when she was discussing about how there's no way to define 0 and 1. And that just blew me away. I was so absorbed in the mechanics and the games and the puzzles of mathematics. And I realized that people are using mathematical systems, they're all based on 0 and 1, to build bridges, to build houses, to have their economics. All the things of the world, really, they have this quantifying aspect to them. And there's no definition. There's no way to define the very thing that all of this is built on. And that was it. I mean, the top just blew off. I said, that's what I have to find. I have to find what that is that can't be defined. By all of the mathematics that I've studied, I have to find what that is, because it's all built on something that can't be defined. That's what I have to find. It just blew the top right off. That's what I'm looking for. That everything's built on it, but it can't be defined. That's what I have to. That's the knowledge that I'm looking for. All these 8, 10 years. That's what I want. So then in the psychology class, and it was a girls' school, and all the girls are there taking notes on this little hamster running around a wheel in a cage, studying behavior. They're studying behavior modification. And I said, no, I'm not interested in behavior modification. I want to know what's behind the behavior, not how to manipulate the behavior. I'm looking for what's behind it. And that was when I said, forget it. No, I've got to find that. I have to find that. And I left school like 3 weeks before I was supposed to graduate. My poor parents, they paid all that money. And I was gone. I was gone. And it wasn't too long after that I found Prabhupada and the Krishna movement. It wasn't too long after that. And I said, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I heard the mantra. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Krishna. So I had that same experience the other night when I was at this home program. And they were all sitting around studying, like it reminded me of that psychology class where they're all sitting around looking at the behavior. They're going to read the pastimes of Krishna as if it was an external thing. Because they're charming. Externally, they're very charming. Mother Yasoda and Child Krishna, it's a charming pastime. It's just fun to hear. Even children enjoy hearing the pastimes because Krishna's charming. But approaching it like those students were studying the hamster running around the wheel, as if all it had to do was with behavior. Not getting to what was behind the behavior. Hare Krishna, which is the personality of Godhead. And I couldn't stay. I basically ran out the door with my hair on fire. I left class because I knew what I was looking for. And they may find it that way someday, but it's going to take an awfully long time. And so this is why here comes the ad, right? Every broadcast has an advertisement. And this is why I like to hear from Srila Gaura Haridas. Because he's teaching how to actually approach this undefinable higher reality, Godhead, very quickly. How to realize, become aware and conscious. He's actually teaching a kind of science. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But it's a different kind of science. It's not based on behavioral modification. As Krishna, he leaves behavior hanging in the wind. It's just hanging in the wind. It just becomes insignificant. The external part becomes totally insignificant. Hare Krishna, it's just like Hare Krishna, like no structure. It's like the house gets burnt down. The whole house is burnt down. This huge structure. It can't contain this undefinable energy because Krishna is undefinable. If you're going to come into contact with Krishna, it's not going to have any significance. Hare Krishna. Krishna himself likes to burn the house down. He acts in contradiction to the structures. That in one place he appears to advocate, recommend, and then he himself comes and just sort of squashes the whole thing with his behavior. Hare Krishna. So, I was going to read Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adi Lila, chapter 4, and discussing the supermost position of Srimati Radhika. Of all the mellows, the conjugal mood is the most inclusive and is the most intense and is the most pleasurable to Lord Krishna, to relating to the devotee in that mood, devotees. And among all the devotees, the gopis have that mood. In the previous verse, we read that they're everything. Everything is there. They're Krishna's teachers, they're Krishna's friends, they're Krishna's taking care of Krishna, parental. They're Krishna's lovers, and he shares intimacy. That's what the conjugal mood is all about. It's about intimacy, sharing intimacy, someone, your deepest feelings, your deepest desires. Sharing that with someone, that's an intimate relationship. And Krishna likes that, and the devotee, in relationship to Krishna, it's an ecstatic exchange. It's all there. And of all the gopis, Srimati Radhika, this is the verse today, 214. Glories to my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my dear spiritual guide and spiritual master, Srila Gaura Haridas, Avadut. Hare Krishna, who is absorbed in this mood of intimate relationship with the Lord. So the verse 214, among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, in good qualities, in good fortune, and above all, in love. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Attachment and affection. This is love. Love is attachment and affection. She possesses this to the highest degree, attachment and affection. Prabhupada's short purport, among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most exalted. He's alone in his room at night dictating these things in his own mood of ecstatic love for the Lord. He's saying, Prabhupada is saying, among all the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the most exalted. She's the most beautiful, the most qualified, and above all, the greatest lover of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Text 15. Now, Krishnadas Kaviraj, whenever he makes a statement, and that verse was Krishnadas Kaviraj speaking from his own realization, from his own awareness, his own consciousness. He's speaking this. He's saying, among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, in good qualities, in good fortune, and above all in love. And then Prabhupada supports that with his realization, and he says, among all the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the most exalted. She's the most beautiful, the most qualified, and above all, the greatest lover of Krishna. Now, what Krishnadas Kaviraj does when he states something like that from his own sincere feelings, his own awareness, his own consciousness, in his relationship with the Lord, he supports it. He'll quote from somewhere else. So in the next verse he quotes from the Padma Purana, where someone else is speaking who has that same realization. So everybody's in agreement. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So text 215. Just as, this is Padma Purana, just as Srimati Radharani is most dear to Sri Krishna, her bathing place, Radha Kund, is also dear to him. Hare Krishna. Yeah! Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. All right. Krishna. Jai! Govinda. Her bathing place, Radha Kund, is also dear to him. Among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is supermost and very dear to Lord Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, and just getting some whatever it is that you get. It's like a surge of wonderful, enlivening experience. Sometimes when you hear something and it something explodes inside. It's like, who needs drugs, It's like, I was like, this is incredible feelings that come just by hearing that. Just as Srimati Radharani is most dear to Sri Krishna, her bathing place. I think it was because it was such a reference to, what happens in a bathing place. The body is bathed, and I think it was a reference to the sacredness of a place where the body of Srimati Radharani is bathed. Her body is bathed there, so it's saturated with the essence of her form, of her body, and she relishes bathing there. So that's dear to Lord Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Why? Because Radha bathes there. And I kind of was able to appreciate that mood that was being expressed there, and got a little something out of it. Like, wow, yeah, Hare Krishna. So it's the sweetness of it, the beauty of it, the ecstasy of it. All right. So, and then among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is supermost and very dear to Lord Krishna. And that's from Padma Purana. And then Krishnadas quotes another verse. This is from the Adi Purana, supporting this unique, pleasurable experience between Radha and Krishna, and how Radha is most dear to Krishna. O Partha, in all the 3 planetary systems, this earth is especially fortunate, for on earth is the town of Vrindavan. And there the gopis are especially glorious, because among them is my Srimati Radharani. So this is Krishna speaking, and he's addressing Arjuna, because Arjuna knows Krishna. And, when Krishna interacts with Arjuna, a lot of times he calls him Partha. I forget what Partha means, but it's a reference to something that applies to Arjuna. And another name that Arjuna knows Krishna by is Partha Sarati. So Partha, you see Partha, it's Arjuna. So, O Arjuna, O Partha, Krishna's talking to Arjuna. In all the 3 planetary systems, it's the whole universe, upper, lower, and middle planets, everywhere. This earth is especially fortunate. Whoa, starting to get a little something more. Wow, oh God, this can't be. How can this be? How can it be? How can we be so fortunate? How is it possible? In all the planetary systems. How is it possible? How is it possible? It's inconceivable. That was the urgency. This is the urgency, the parampara, the bona fide spiritual masters feel this urgency, that how rare this is, and to get the message out. And what to speak of having a human birth on this planet. This earth is especially fortunate, for on earth is the town of Vrindavan. And there the gopis are especially glorious, because among them is my Srimati Radharani. Wow, huh? Wow. Come on, folks. Get with the program. Krishna. Krishna. Oh, God. All right. Text 217. Krishna. Whew. You know? Yeah, skip school. Cut out a class, man. Hare Krishna, and go hear from Srila Gauraridas. Forget the university and all the degrees and diplomas, and forget that, man. Forget it. You want to do that forever? Come on. You've got the, we got something else going on here that's like, what we're looking for right away. 217. I mean, do you want a profession? That's why people go to school, is because they want a profession. You want to be a professional whatever? Come on. You're being trained to do what you're doing now is what you're just going to do for your whole lifetime. Do you want to just do that? Be a professional guru, a professional devotee, a professional pujari. You want to be a professional? I don't want to be a professional. Anything. Krishna. Text 217. All the other gopis help increase the joy of Krishna's pastimes with Radharani. The gopis act as the instruments of their mutual enjoyment. Okay, well the gopis we know, Krishna, Radha is expanded from Krishna. See, this is where that, please excuse me, this abstract algebra that blew the top off my brain before I found the movement was discussing set theory and how within an aggregate there can be subsets. They're still within the aggregate and they still have all the same qualities as the total aggregate, but it's a subset and it's defined a little differently. So, Hare Krishna. Radha is expanded from Krishna. He's designated a little differently. It's all Krishna within the aggregate of Krishna, which is unlimited. But there's defined, she has qualities that define her so that she's perfectly in a position to interact with Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that may not be exactly the mathematics, okay, but it's rough. And I think that's what I saw when I was in that class, that it was getting so close. And like I say, interestingly enough, it was taught by an Indian woman who had certainly some exposure to the Vedas and Krishna consciousness to one degree or another, demigods and karma. She had all of that exposure that I didn't have at that time. And it made it easy for her to relate to all of this. Oh, yes, of course, abstract. So, just like Radha is expanded from Krishna, she's his Ladini potency, his pleasure potency. The gopis are then expanded from Radha. And what is their how are they designated? Is the gopis act as the instruments of their, with a capital T, mutual enjoyment, Radha and Krishna's mutual enjoyment. They act as instruments for Radha and Krishna pastimes. Isn't that sweet? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's what people in a material situation, they're very lonely, so they find a partner, and then they expand from there the best they can with the partner, and they'll have children to expand their pleasure, and also a circle of friends and a society to expand their pleasure. So the gopis are expanded from Radha as part of her service for pleasing Krishna. And Hare Krishna. And they act as the instruments of their mutual enjoyment. The material world is a reflection through the illusory energy. But here, the actual eternal forms of these personalities being made available for our appreciation, showing us the direction how to, where we're going if we stay on the path. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada's purport. It is said that the gopis, well actually, we don't become the gopis. We're not expanded from Radharani. We're not, as jiva souls, we're another energy, a different type of energy altogether. This is my understanding. We're jiva tattva. But our quality is we can take on the mood of whatever we associate with. That's why association is so powerful. Whoever we associate with, we take those qualities on. Associate and serve, we become like that. So we can enter into the mood of the gopis. But we're a different energy. We're not like the gopis who are expanded from Radha. Sorry. Just not, you know. But that's okay, because when we act according to who we are with Krishna, and Krishna is pleased, and we're really pleased too. So we can take on this mood of service of the gopis. And Krishna will accept us in that way. And it'll be pretty blissful. But Radha already exists. Lalita and Vishaka, they already exist. We don't become them. But we can have the mood, their loving service mood, we can become saturated with it. And in that way, become acceptable to Krishna. And there's no question of feeling anything's missing at that point. There won't be anything missing. I mean, in our eternal loving relationship with the Lord, and, there's nothing missing in that. Prabhupada's purport, it is said that the gopis are divided into 5 groups, namely the Shakis, Nitya Shakis, Prana Shakis, Priya Shakis, and Parama Presta Shakis. All these fair-complexioned associates of Srimati Radharani, the Queen of Vrindavan Dham, are expert artists in evoking erotic sentiments in Krishna. Krishna! Govinda. Just make a note of that. There's nothing happening here on the material plane. These are pure sentiments, pure feelings. And they're not acted out in a gross material body. Krishna has no interest in a gross material body. Sorry. Filled with bad smells and worms. That's not the platform that these erotic sentiments are being evoked. Just not. Krishna. However, Hare Krishna, 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 it's not that they don't exist. Hare Ram, or they're imaginary. They're not imaginary. What we see on the material plane, the illusory plane, the body's filled with the worms and the bad smells, etc., is a reflection through the earth, water, fire, air, and all that. It's just reflected through there, but it's just a reflection. So what we're interested in, what is behind the reflection? What is the source? Hare Krishna, you know, the bag of mucus, stool, and bad airs and all that. We're not interested in that. That's an illusion. So this is talking about the source of those sentiments. All these fair-complexioned associates of Srimati Radharani, the Queen of Vrindavan Dham, are expert artists in evoking erotic sentiments in Krishna. The Parama Presta Shakis are 8 in number, and in the ecstatic dealings of Krishna and Radha, they side sometimes with Krishna, at other times with Radharani, just to create a situation in which it appears that they favor one against the other. That makes the exchange of mellows more palatable. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. That's Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada is speaking. Hare Krishna. He starts it out with, it is said. he starts it out with, it is said. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then he discusses this he doesn't say where it is said. He just says it is said. Prabhupada can do anything. He's a pure devotee. So there's a reason why he presented it like that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Kind of buffer it a little bit. Hare Krishna. Text 218. And this is Krishnadas, Kaviraj speaking. He's talking more about Radha. He says, Radha is the beloved consort of Krishna, and she is the wealth of his life. Without her, the gopis cannot give him pleasure. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. It's like a jewel set in a arrangement of jewels, she's like the centerpiece. The diamond, and then there's little diamonds all around. They're all diamonds, but they have the jewel in the center. She is the wealth of his life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, now here's a quote. He always supports his statements. And text 219, this is a quote from the Gita Govinda, Jayadev Goswami. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, left aside the other gopis during the rasa dance and took Srimati Radharani to his heart. For she is the helper of the Lord in realizing the essence of his desires. She has the most intimacy with the Lord. Realizing the essence of his desires, that's the most intimacy. The essence of his desires. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, left aside the other gopis during the rasa dance and took Srimati Radharani to his heart. For she is the helper of the Lord in realizing the essence of his desires. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Fulfills his desires, realizes the essence of his desires, experiences ecstatic love, which is his desire. He wants this loving experience, and she's the helper. Purport. In this is one sentence, Prabhupada references it. In this verse from Gita Govinda, Jayadev Goswami describes Shri Krishna's leaving the Rasa Lila to search for Srimati Radharani. Now that's interesting that Prabhupada says that, because in the verse it sounds like he left aside the other gopis and took Srimati Radharani to his heart. Sounds like, well, they're all dancing and then he just runs away with one of them, right? But that's not what Prabhupada says in the purport. He says that this describes Krishna's leaving the Rasa Lila to search for Srimati Radharani. Interesting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Text 220. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj. He's saying, Lord Chaitanya appeared with the sentiment of Radha. He preached the Dharma of this age, the chanting of the holy name, and pure love of God. It's twofold. Chant the holy name and pure love of God. So Lord Chaitanya appeared with the sentiment of Radha. And it's interesting that he would say that after that previous verse, where the verse is, Krishna left the Rasa Leela to fulfill, to realize, she helps him realize his deepest desires. And then the very next verse is, Lord Chaitanya appeared with the sentiment of Radha. It's all intertwined in a really incredible, ecstatic way. All these emotions, the Lord and Radharani's sentiments and the Lord's feelings, and it's all intertwined. So it's so attractive, this affair between Radha and Krishna. It has become unlimitedly attractive with all of this intrigue and soul-searching desire. It's incredible. This is Krishnadas continues now in that line. He doesn't quote from anywhere, he just continues. He's speaking further on. In the mood of Srimati Radharani, he also fulfills his own desires. This is the principal reason for his appearance. In the mood of Srimati Radharani, he fulfills his own desires, which are what? To experience what she experiences. Because he sees that it appears to him to be 10 million times more intense and ecstatic than what he's experiencing. So in the mood of Srimati Rani, he also fulfills his own desires. This is the principal reason for his appearance. That's the principal reason, the internal, most intense reason. Because Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and he never stops to do anything else. Krishna, the Supreme Personality, is the supreme enjoyer. What, just sometimes? No, he never stops. If something else has to be done, he'll figure out a way to get it done, but he's not going to stop enjoying. He's not going to like Mother Yasoda put Krishna down to go attend to the milk on the stove. He's not going to put up with that. No, he's the eternal enjoyer. He's not going to attend to anything else. He'll figure out a way to get it done, but he's not going to stop. Ever. Krishna, because that's his personality. He's the supreme enjoyer, which means he enjoys supremely. Krishna. Text 222. This is Krishnadas continuing on. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna, Rajendra Kumar, the embodiment of Ras. He is amorous love personified. Because he is Krishna and Radha all in one. He is amorous love personified. 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 Okay, the Bengali is Shri Krishna Chaitanya Goshani Rajendra Kumar Rasamaya Murti Krishna Shakshat Shringara. This is actually a song. Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually very song-like. When it's translated into English, then, you know, us folks with this kind of brain can understand, because we don't, most of us don't know Bengali. So in the English, it doesn't come out as a song, but the Bengali, it's a song. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Goswami Vrajanda Kumar Rasamaya Murti Krishna Sakshad Shringar. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Goswami Vrajanda Kumar Rasamaya Murti Krishna Sakshad Shringar. It's a song, man, it's a song. Bhagavad Gita is a song, but us English folks, you know. Hare Krishna, that's why it's really important to chant Hare Krishna. The essence of the song is all there in Hare Krishna. Okay, so the translation in English of the song, or the poem, is Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna, Rajendra Kumar, the embodiment of rasas. He is amorous love personified. Wouldn't it be great if someone could do it in English, you know, so it read more song-like? Although, I don't know, you know, they'd have to put their name on it. They couldn't say it was Prabhupada, like they do with the Gita. They change it all around and then put Prabhupada's name back on it. And there's no song left in the thing. Their translations are like choppy. They don't read musically or poetically at all. They're all like chopped to hell, really. They put Prabhupada's name back on it. It's so ridiculous. It's so pathetic. It's actually funny. It's ridiculous. Because that Gita reads so poetically. You know, that's why Prabhupada chose Hayagriva. He was a poet. For all his questionable behavior, it didn't matter, because the service he did was very pleasing to Prabhupada and Krishna. That Gita is so poetic. The English, is poetic. Song-like. Is absolutely beautiful, the English translations. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. You know, I remember hearing that, I think it was Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhupada said, people will learn Bengali so that they can read Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think I get the reason why. Because the English, it doesn't have that beautiful, the flute, you know, where's the flute in there? You know, like some of those English verses in the Gita are very easy to memorize because they are song-like. You know how sometimes you'll hear an advertisement on the radio or the TV or whatever, and it's in a song form, and you can't get that darn thing out of your head. I mean, I've got one floating around since 1955. I can't get that damn thing out of my head. It was an ad for gum. Double your pleasure, double your fun, double mint bubble gum or something. And just the way it was sung, I can't get that thing out of my head. Double your pleasure, double your fun, double mint gum. Stuck in there. So those verses are so beautiful. They're song-like in the Gita. And they said that people will read Chaitanya Charitamrita. They'll learn Bengali. They know English already, but they'll learn Bengali just so they can read Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is very song-like and beautiful. But we'll continue on with the purports. Prabhupada is so kind that he's telling us what these beautiful songs mean in English. Hare Krishna, capturing us. Krishna. So, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna, Rajendra Kumar, the embodiment of rasas. He is amorous love personified. Text 23. Krishna, you know, he tuned in on somebody who's like, you know, kind of drunk, you know. No, I haven't been drinking alcohol. No, I haven't been smoking weed. No. I haven't been drinking coffee. No, as a matter of fact, I got up a little late. And I haven't even showered or eaten anything yet. I drank a little lemon juice and water. And I chanted a few rounds and I said, man, I gotta share some stuff. Text 223. Translation. This is still Krishnadas Kaviraj, and this is Prabhupada's English translation. He, Lord Chaitanya, made his appearance to taste that conjugal mellow and, incidentally, to broadcast all the rasas. Incidentally. He made his appearance. Why? To taste that conjugal ras. Now we just read a few verses back how of all the planets in the creation, upper, lower, and middle planetary system, this Earth is the most fortunate, because on this Earth is Vrindavan and the Gopis and Srimati Radharani. When they appear on this Earth. In this verse, several verses later, he's describing how Krishna made his appearance as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the desire to experience what Radha experiences in a loving relationship and intimacy with Krishna, especially in his absence, which she goes through. He made his appearance to taste that conjugal mellow and incidentally, here's a crumb, to broadcast all the rasas. Incidentally. Let's look up that word, incidentally. I kind of think I know what it means, but Prabhupada's use of the English language is so much more in-depth because he actually studied English. I was born babbling it, and I'm still babbling it. It's not his native language. He had to study it. So his use of words sometimes has a lot more going for it than what I think it means. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, there go those chills. Whoops, up on the back of the neck. Woo! Oh, Krishna! 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 Yeah, right. I love looking up these words because Prabhupada knows how to use them perfectly. And I think I know what they mean from my everyday street language and the few entertainment books that I may have read or whatever. But here it is. So here's the verse. Oops, where'd it go? Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, made his appearance to taste that conjugal mellow and, incidentally, to broadcast all the rasas. And here's what incidentally means. Used when a person has something more to say or is about to add a remark unconnected to the subject matter. Unconnected. Broadcasting the message of Godhead. Prabhupada is describing it here as unconnected. It's not connected to the original subject matter, which is the Lord desiring to taste this conjugal mellow in the mood of Radharani in separation from himself. It's not connected. There's a disconnect. And then the definition goes on further. There's a comma. And then another way to understand incidentally is, oh, by the way. By the way. And then there's a second definition. So it's a very strong word that the connotation is that it's not connected. Spreading the, and we understand that from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that it was entirely possible to establish the religion of the age, the sacrifice of the age, which is the chanting of the holy names. It was entirely possible to do that without the appearance, personally, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's entirely possible to do that. They're not connected. Lord Advaita says that in that verse. He said, I can do this. I can establish. He's Vishnu Tattva. This was before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, I can do this. I can establish the religion of the age. I can establish that. But only you can come to give ecstatic love of Godhead, because that has to be done through a person. It has to be a person. You. Or your personally empowered representative pointing the way to you. Hare Krishna. Through them, the person. Hare, through their loving relationship with the Lord. And the Lord is manifest like that. There's a second definition for incidentally. In an incidental manner, right, as a chance occurrence. Okay, well that doesn't really fit because it's not by chance. It is scheduled to take place. It's establishing the religion of the age is scheduled to take place. So it's going to take, so it's not a chance. So the first definition is really the one. And it's very significant here that part of the definition is not connected to the original subject matter. There is a disconnect. Because Vishnu is the form that maintains the societies and the social structure and whatever. The Lord Vishnu, that's the mode of maintenance, or the mode of goodness, maintains. It's not Krishna in his form as the ecstatic Krishna. That's Krishna, again, expanding out or designating this Vishnu function. It's him, but in this other form, Vishnu form. Not the pastime form, not the ecstatic form, not the form that desires to have this intimacy with Srimati Radharani. That's not the form that maintains the religion. So the verse again, he made his appearance to taste that conjugal mood and incidentally to broadcast all the rasas. And then Krishnadas is going to quote. And I think I'm going to stop there because that's a lot. It's a lot. You know, yeah. Krishna, what's going on here? Hare Krishna. Hare Bol Prabhu. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Johan, he's making reference to the Brahmana in the pastime of Ram. They were gopis in Krishna's pastimes. So one can become a gopi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I'm not sure that that's what was meant by them becoming a gopi. I don't know, these are fine details. For me personally, it doesn't matter if I can become like a gopi, I'm very happy. If I become a gopi, that's fine too. I mean, these are like fine details. But my understanding, a lot of people take it cheaply and they go, oh, now I'm a gopi. You know, and they take it cheaply and then, you know, they're stuck in the illusory energy. But my understanding right now, you know, I'm not going to argue about it, you know, but my understanding is that we're a different energy. We're Jiva Tattva. We're very, very small. But we become like what we associate with. We associate with the material energy, then we identify with the material body. If we associate with in the eternal atmosphere with Krishna, then we become like that. So I don't know, you know. When I get there, I'll write you all I'll send a postcard. You know, these things, you know, it'll all be revealed. I argue about it, I don't know. But right now, that's my understanding, is that I am eternally Jiva Tattva. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And I eternally have free will. I have that. I can choose. And I think, ta-da, that's part of Krishna's attraction to us, is that we have that free will and we can choose not to surrender to Krishna. I think that's part of his attraction to us, that when we choose to develop a loving sentiment toward Krishna, it makes him very happy because we have free will. We can choose not to. And as we see around us, there's a lot of them choosing not to, and they got all different kinds of bodies, not just human bodies. They got tree bodies, plant bodies, dog bodies, cat bodies. And they made the choice not to develop a loving relationship with the Lord. So I think that's part of the attraction in the relationship, is that we have that free will. It makes, you have to work harder. I mean, Krishna has to, you know, extend more to us. And then we have to work hard to meet Krishna. And it really has like a intensifying aspect to it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Well, I don't know. Anyway, that's just what I'm experiencing right now, and it can change. And my experiences do change. And I'm thankful that they do. Because if I ever thought that I had it all down pat, I'd be in big trouble. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You know, the Christians, followers of Jesus, a lot of times they have this saying, one day at a time. I think there's a song, Sweet Jesus, one day at a time. Well, my song is, one moment at a time. One moment at a time. It's just like, Krishna, like, that's probably what happens when you're actually living in the eternal present. It's just one moment at a time. I mean, you know, you can have some plan, some general idea, but it really comes down to like one moment at a time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You know, it's kind of like, it was like, I was thinking about that, you know, the out and out hedonists, they have their mantra, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. Okay, that's the material they're talking about on the material platform. But the devotee also, the ecstatic devotee, is chant, dance, and be happy. But you could die at any moment. Any moment. So it's kind of like the perfection of hedonism. Chant, dance, and be happy because you could die at any moment. Hare Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sachi, she says, babies live one moment at a time. Yeah, and so do spiritual babies. Yeah. People used to ask me, so when I was, younger, they'd say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would say, I don't want to grow up. I'm not going to grow up. Somehow I pulled it off, I pulled it off. Krishna, he heard that, she's one of mine, she didn't want to grow up. Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. All right, that's, before I dig the hole any deeper here. Let it go. Krishna. Okay, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Hare Krishna. One mantra at a time. Hare Krishna. Maybe that's what the yogis experience when they do this deep breathing meditation. One breath at a time. Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare